Okay, I'm officially live, streaming on X, streaming on YouTube, streaming in the Discord, Tesla and Google. Woo-hoo-hoo! Oh boy, this is going to be a good one. Well, Google's supposed to report right at 4 p.m. Eastern. Google was selling off just a few, right now it's selling off. Tesla's supposed to report at 4:05 p.m. Eastern. I do have an open trade on Tesla for earnings. Alerted it to all the Discord peeps. Tesla was trading around 375 when I opened it. So what I did was I put a debit spread above the price of Tesla, and then I put a debit spread below the price of Tesla. In essence, it's an inverse iron condor or a long iron condor. We pay a debit to open those trades. But here we go. It's officially 4 p.m. Eastern. We should be getting Google's reaction any moment now. Got people piling into the Discord here. Shout out to Breckle, Cruz, Duco, Onrod, Epic, Mule, NG, my buddy Ninja's here, Paul's here, Shin, Snapper, the Doctor, the Chag. We got a party going on over here. See how many people are on X and YouTube. About 100 people. I'm sure more people are still jumping in. But looking like Google's a little frozen here. Their data should be out. According to Earnings Whispers, Google is right at 4 p.m. Eastern. And Tesla is supposed to be at 4:05. My buddy Jacob, a.k.a. in the house on YouTube. What's up, my brother? Hope all is well with you. Hope you're stacking them chips up. I know you always got some really good trades going on. So let's go back to the sticks. So we should get Google's reaction first. So far, nothing. It's supposed to be right at 4 p.m. Eastern is when it's supposed to come out. Let me see. Let me see if I got anything on my other screen here. And then, of course, I'll go over the trade I have on Tesla. I'll go over that here in a little bit. Yeah, everyone's just waiting on Google. Hasn't dropped yet. JP Morgan expects Google to raise its capex to $325 billion to $350 billion. Wall Street estimates is at $250 billion. But let's see. Okay, we're getting a reaction. We're finally getting a reaction on Google. It was like frozen there for a second. Market makers and algos finally pulling the trigger now. Let's see what happens. Initial reaction was up. Now it's down. Now it's coming back up. So it's still indecision on Google. We don't know which way it's going to go yet. Let's give it a minute for the price to settle. Yeah, Ninja, grab a coffee and wait for it. Exactly. Okay, so the trade I opened on Tesla, especially my Discord premium members, y'all saw that in the spread channel, right? Did an inverse iron condor, debit spread on each side of the price. Potential return on risk like 95% around there. So let's see. Should be just a few more minutes for Tesla. Google's data is out already. Let me see what I got. I think a lot of people are here for Tesla as well. Let's take a little peek here. Okay. Wow. They crushed EPS, but I don't think it's helping them. I don't know. We'll see. The verdict's still out. Okay, it's printing red now. This candle is jumping all over the place. So we still don't know which way Google's going. But looks like they did double beat. So double beat on Google. Now the implied move for Google is around 5 or 6%. The expected move. So you can kind of do the math with that. Just kind of what's being priced in. Google closed at around 342. We'll go the high end, 6%. So it could be like a $20 move up or down is what's being priced in. We'll see what happens. Google closed the regular session $342.20, down about a point and a half, 1.4%. Okay, Tesla's moving already as well. It's supposed to be another 30 seconds before the data comes out, so maybe this is just like pre-earnings jitters here. But here, let me just show you Google just real quick. Keep Google's price on the right. Google is technically red and by 0.5% in post-market, but expected number for EPS for Google Alphabet, $2.91. They reported $9.11 EPS. Holy cow. Like I say, it doesn't look like that's impressing investors too much. I think what we were talking about at the beginning of the stream, their increased CapEx spend might be hurting them right now. I'll get that information here in a minute. But they also beat revenue expectation, about 117 billion. They reported 119.7 billion. Year-over-year numbers look great. Quarter-over-quarter looks great as far as growth goes for EPS and revenue. But let me see what the CapEx spend was, because I think that's what everyone was wondering. Let me get that. But so far, negative reaction. I have a feeling it's due to CapEx. Let's see here. Okay. Google Ads. Slight beat on Google Ads as far as, and then Google Services, slight beat on that. Operating income, small beat on that. Getting some info here from Schaefer's Investment. Shout out to them. Let's see how much of this I can fit in the comments. Let's see. Here, I'll post this in the Discord so y'all can see. There you go. Okay, looks like I can fit it in one comment. Let me delete some of this though. There we go. All right, so there's just some numbers from Google's earnings data drop they just did. So they beat revenue, they beat Google Ads, they beat Google Services. Again, just kind of small beats across the board. Nothing really too fantastical or anything like that, but let's see what their CapEx was. Okay, so the CapEx for this quarter was about $45 billion. That's double from a year ago. They don't have any buybacks. So for Google, instead of buyback, instead they raised $49.6 billion in a June stock sale. This is from Wolf Financial, citing AI infrastructure and global compute among the uses for the stock sale. And they issued $20 billion in senior notes. Cloud margin said the AI spend is monetizing. The financing says the spend is only getting bigger. Okay. Let me look at a few other things here. Okay, so definitely a big surprise on the EPS front. Operating income increased 30%. Google Cloud revenue surged 82%. Let me look at a few other things. Okay, so their CapEx they reported was $44.9 billion. It was slightly above the estimate. Overall, it does look like a good beat. And looks like a lot of that has to do with the cloud acceleration. YouTube ads, excuse me, that was a beat. Operating income was a beat. It's a beat across the board. But their CapEx did come in a little bit above estimates. So we'll see what happens when management actually gives their commentary, you know, at the live earnings call and the guidance. But let's find out when Google's going to do their call, and then we're switching over to Tesla because I got to open trade on Tesla right now. Looks like negative reaction on Tesla so far. Let's find out when Google's going to do their call. Okay, let me just make sure I didn't miss any comment. Action pack So would you look at now? Yeah, we can take a look at that. I'm gonna find out when Google's gonna do their call. So it's the link to Google's investor relations is abc.xyz. Pretty creative, I guess. abc.xyz/investor. I'll put that in the notes. I'll put it in Discord too. Oh, there you go, Epic. I appreciate it. So yeah, Tammy, yeah, absolutely right. The CapEx came in slightly above what the estimate was, and that's what investors, but it didn't come in too much above it. So maybe that's why it's holding up okay. I mean, it's only down $2.50 a share right now. Not bad. I think it would, there'd be a lot more selling if their CapEx was a lot more. But yeah, just a little bit more than what was estimated. Okay, let me go to events and updates. Let me see. Earning. Okay, events right here. Events and pre-minute. Let's see. Okay, I'm thinking they're going to be doing their call probably around 5 p.m. Eastern. Click on this here. Okay, 1:30 Pacific time is when they're going to do their earnings. Okay. So the earnings call is going to be at 4:30 p.m. Eastern. Okay. So in about another 20 minutes, Google investors will get to join that call. And let me show you how to get to the call. So give me 1 second here. So I posted a link in the comments that'll get you to the website I'm on right now. And then actually here, let me do this. Delete that in there. Okay, so this is what the website looks like when you get there. And then just right here on the home page, just right here, Q2, you can see webcast. You can click on that, and then just in 20 minutes they'll start the call. Okay, so pretty easy on how to get there. I'm going to shift my focus to Tesla. Okay, let me look at a few things here. Okay, Tesla. So investors aren't liking Tesla's data right now. Okay, they missed EPS. Oh, wow. Okay, so the expected numbers for EPS for Tesla was 54 cents. They reported 33 cents. They missed that. They missed EPS by 39%. They did beat revenue. EPS is down 18% year over year, and EPS is down 20% quarter over quarter. There is revenue growth year over year and quarter over quarter. There is revenue growth, but EPS taking a hit. Let's see what else we got here. So kind of mixed for this earnings. Their free cash flow is a lot better than the estimates were. So Tesla beat revenue, missed EPS by quite a bit. Free cash flow is better than the estimate. Margins got hit a little bit. So kind of mixed, I have to say, kind of mixed on Tesla. Let me post these results here. Give me 1 second. So this is Q2 results for Tesla. Put that in the comments. I'll put it over here. Ninja says IBM. Yeah, I mean, there was quite a few others reporting. I just want to get through these two first, and then I wanted to share that trade I opened up on Tesla, and then see if we can get to now and then get to IBM as well. We got a few requests in the chats. Let me look at some more stuff real quick. So gross margin for Tesla, 16.8%. Let's see. But yeah, the big miss on EPS for Tesla. Investors aren't liking it too much. We find out when Tesla's going to do their call, and then we'll look at the other ones. And then I want to go over that trade I opened with everybody. Okay. The deliveries for Tesla, that is up 25% year over year, so they got some growth there. Okay. So again, the big red flag for Tesla is the big EPS print. That was bad. Had a terrible EPS print. Gross margin. They also have some margin issues because the gross margin estimate was 19% and they reported 17%. Okay. So issues with the margin, issues with the EPS. Those are the red flags that I see so far. Okay. So margins and the EPS they're under pressure right now. They're under pressure. But of course, Tesla's aiming for long-term growth. So keep that in mind. And let's see what else here. We'll find out when Tesla's going to do their call. And then we'll look at Now and IBM. Okay. Investor relations for Tesla is ir.tesla.com. Pretty easy. I'm going to take Google's stuff off the screen for now. Okay. Google a little bit green. They did sell off kind of the final 3 5-minute candles, kind of printed red and sold off into the closing bell. So yeah, technically they're green. They kind of just retraced the selling at the end of the day there. So I'd call it more flat than anything. Seller said Amazon is moving in after hours. Oh yeah, look at that. Good eyes, Seller. Because I got that spread open from yesterday. Opened a couple of the spreads on Amazon. So very nice. I know quite a few people took that Amazon spread with me. So this looks like it's going to be fine. Our expiration date on the spread was what, Monday? So we don't really have to hold it. It's going to be a short-lived trade, and I think it's going to be a good one. It's looking good now. It's retracing most of the selling that it had today. So I'm liking Amazon. Here's Tesla right here. Tesla did come down to 360.29 so far. That's where it wicked down to. Also, just for the people on I know the people in the Discord know, but got about 200 people. Action Pack really wants to see Now. Okay, yeah, let's look at Now. Let me just find out when Tesla's going to do their call, because I don't want to get sidetracked here. And then we're going to look at Now for sure. I'll look at that for you. Okay, so Tesla's earnings call. Okay, it's in 1 hour and 11 minutes. There's a little countdown on their website right here. So livestream.tesla.com. It's in 1 hour, 11 minutes, and 35 seconds. All right. So Tesla investors, that's how much time you got to wait before you can listen to their live call, and then see if they give more commentary and more clarity about the guidance and stuff like that. But so far, Tesla's getting a red negative reaction, if you will. Let me just go over that Tesla trade real quick, and then I'll go over Now, and then I'll look at IBM. But let me go to my spread channel here in the Discord. Move this over and just show everyone what I did today. So hopefully everyone can see that on my screen. Jacob says now earnings are strong. Okay, cool. Yeah, I'm definitely interested in looking at that. But this was the setup for the Tesla trade. Okay, you can see the risk profile right here. You can see where my break evens were, and basically I put a debit spread on each side of the price, which means I can win the trade if Tesla goes up. I can win the trade if Tesla goes down. But I would need Tesla to be beyond either one of my break even. So on the top side, it's 393 and some change. And then on the downside, it's 356 and some change. So my expiration isn't until Monday. So far, Tesla's getting a negative reaction. We'll see. We got a few days. We got until Monday until it expires. So obviously, so far it's a negative reaction, but it's not too far off from my downside break even. So if the selling does continue for the remainder of post market and maybe even into pre-market tomorrow, and if it keeps coming down a little bit, then I absolutely should be winning this trade. And it was about a 1-to-1 risk reward. I opened 2 of them. On the put side, we bought to open the 357.50 strike, and we sold to open the 355 strike. And then on the call side, we bought to open the 392.50 strike, and we sold to open the 395 strike. And so that's the debit spread for the put side and the debit spread for the call side. So this is a like inverse iron condor trade, and probability of profit was over 50%, so that was fine. And yeah, I mean, decent potential return on risk if this works out. I paid 128 for mine, and with the potential profit of 122, so 122 divided by 128, so potential return on risk 95%. That's what I'm looking at as the potential of the trade, which I would totally be happy with, right? So we just got to keep our eye on Tesla and see what it does for the remainder of post-market and pre-market. And like I said, I got till Monday for the trade to work out, so I'll just see how Tesla trades. And if it keeps, it looks like it's going to be trending down. I mean, unless it does like a V-shaped recovery going into tomorrow, and then we'll be looking at the top side. But right now, I'm focused on my bottom side spread being breached, and if that happens, I'll be able to make some money on this trade. All right, let's look at now. Got quite a few people asking about now. So let's just take a look. I'm going to leave Tesla on the left. I'll put now over here on the right. Service now. Okay, they closed the regular session at $95.46. They were down 6.5% today. Wow, look at that move they had intraday today. So they've retraced most of that selling with this reaction they're having now. But they closed the regular session $95 and some change, trading above $100 now. They're up about 6.2%. Let me check the earnings data and just kind of see what was reported. Investors are obviously liking what they're seeing as far as the data goes. So let's take a look. See what we got here. Yeah, wow, it does look like a strong beat. And also they raised guidance. ServiceNow raised guidance, folks. Margins look really good. Let's see. Monetization of AI is improving. Remaining performance obligations, which is RPO, looks great. The earnings look really good, y'all. Let's see. Revenue came in at almost $4 billion, 3.99 billion. The estimate was 3.92. And also the revenue is up 24% year over year. So solid growth on the revenue. Also subscriptions for ServiceNow up to they reported $3.8 billion. That's up 24% year over year. They beat EPS. That looks good. What else do we got? Okay, a little bit of a red flag on free cash flow, but it's not really phasing investors too much. The estimate for free cash flow on now was $679 million. they reported 634 million. So they did miss free cash flow. But other than that, I'm not really seeing any other red flags, and investors aren't really obviously reacting negatively to the free cash flow red flag. So that's not really holding a lot of weight compared to the other results of the data. Some comments from the higher ups at ServiceNow. They say, with our AI control tower as the market standard, agentic deployments of ServiceNow AI increased 9-fold in just 9 months. Our $29 billion in remaining performance obligations, that's the RPO I was talking about, is fueled by longer customer commitments and skyrocketing demand from our partner ecosystem. And then they say, once again, we beat the high end of our guidance range across every top line and profitability metric in an environment where most enterprises are still searching for AI's return on investment. ServiceNow is the platform delivering it. Those are some pretty solid statements from the ServiceNow higher ups. Very descriptive and very confident commentary here that they released before they actually do the live call. So that's for my buddy Action Pack on X. Hope that kind of clarifies a little bit for now and why they're getting a positive reaction. Again, just a little bit of a red flag on free cash flow, but other than that, the earnings are solid for ServiceNow. So if you're a ServiceNow investor, you should be pretty happy with these results. Let me just see if what else I can find, because they did raise the guidance as well. Investors love when guidance is raised. Tesla's still trying to find a bottom. There are some bottom wicks being printed, so there's a little bit of buying, but not really enough to overpower the sellers at the moment. MACD still printing a bearish signal here. RSI down to 20, RSI is down to 14. So we'll see if it continues downtrending or not. It's getting real close to one of my break even on my debit spread trade. But ServiceNow, strong expectations met with a solid beat. And ServiceNow does have a history of delivering nice beats on their earnings. And analysts on ServiceNow, they set pretty high expectations. And ServiceNow delivered. AI-driven momentum. Outstanding for the ServiceNow. I was pulling back a little bit now, but that'll probably be short-lived. Natural healthy price action when it pulls back a little bit like that, so that's fine. Let's find out when ServiceNow is going to do their call. Okay, hold on 1 second. I'm just looking for some other things. Okay, so that's what the guidance that ServiceNow raised was their fiscal year subs guide. Okay. And again, the subs revenue was up 24% year over year. So they raised the guidance on that. Great quarter. Great results for ServiceNow. Let me find out when they're going to do their call, and I'll get that information for everybody. Okay, so the link to get there, if you want to take a deeper dive into ServiceNow's earnings, is investor.servicenow.com. I'll post it in the comments for anyone interested. But yeah, AKA, I agree. In Action Pack, hopefully that clarified a little bit on why they're getting a positive reaction. I'll find out when they're going to do the call. And there were some people on the Discord asking about now as well. So there was a handful of people asking about that. Let's see here. Recent announcements. Okay, let me just pull this over so y'all can see it. And this is what their investor relations page looks like. And so this is their homepage. You scroll down, you can see the earnings results. Here's the webcast link. Here's the press release right here. I already went over quite a bit of the info that's on there, but I didn't go over everything. So if you wanted to go there, you can see a lot more stuff regarding their earnings. But let me click this webcast and see when they're going to do the call. Okay, 4 p.m. Central Time. So 5 p.m. Eastern is when ServiceNow is going to do their web call, and they are green, up about 4.6% here in after hours. Let me go back to the sticks here. All right, so that should be some good info for everyone that was requesting some information on now. I hope that clarified what's going on with their earnings, and now you know when they're going to do their call and how to get there and all that fun stuff. Did I post that link in the Discord? Let's see. There it is right there. If anyone wants to jump into that call when they do the call, it's in about 30 minutes. Let me pivot over to IBM because we got a few requests for them. IBM, okay, they're getting a positive reaction, up 2.6 or 2.7% now. IBM was down 2.25% during the regular session. They closed at 205.77 a share. Now they're trading just below 212. So positive reaction for IBM. Let's just quickly go over that, because I know there's some IBM investors listening in right now. Okay, IBM, what you got for me? You know, interesting thing about IBM being green right now in after hours. They actually lowered their revenue outlook for the remainder of the year. Well, for their their fiscal year 2026. The CEO said, "We faced revenue headwinds late in the second quarter." But even with them lowering the fiscal year revenue outlook, they're still green in the post market. So that's interesting. Let's take a look here. See what else I can find. Okay, IBM earnings. The EPS came in at 293. So that was a beat. Just double check that. Actually, the estimate was 293. So I think I think that came in line. Let me see here. So they did lower the sales guidance though for IBM. They do have a revenue beat, 17.16 billion. That looks like a miss to me. Let me look at a few other sources here because I'm getting kind of mixed signals on IBM. They did lower guidance. Interesting though that they're not really taking a hit right now. They're actually green, 2.5% right now. Yeah. Let me see. Yeah, some sources are saying double beat, some are saying mixed. That's okay. They are showing some growth. So IBM, basically their strong point of their business is the software. And they do have a hybrid cloud and AI demand. You see infrastructure revenue declined 7%. I'm showing a double miss. I don't know if anyone's seeing anything different, but I'm showing IBM double missed. Oh, God. I'm just getting mixed information on them. Some sources are saying they beat. Some sources are saying they missed. That tells me it came in line, really. Look at a few other things here. Find out when IBM is going to do their call. Yeah, I'm definitely getting mixed info on IBM, which just tells me it came in line more so came in line. They did have a big miss on free cash flow. There's quite a few red flags on IBM, so I'm kind of uncertain why it's green right now in after hours. But their net income, they did beat net income, and their net income was positive $2.8 billion. The estimate was $2.75 billion. So they're making more profit. That's up 5% year over year. Couple statements from IBM. They say, we now expect constant currency revenue growth in the range of 4 to 5%, and we continue to expect free cash flow to increase about $1 billion year over year for the full year. And that's what I was saying. And then they say, although we faced revenue headwinds late in the second quarter, we continued to focus on the fundamentals of our business, including driving productivity, strengthening our portfolio, and generating free cash flow. All right. Let's see when IBM's going to do their call. Probably 4:30 or 5. It's just it's a little after 4:30 right now. Their link to their investor relations is ibm.com/investor. I'll post that in the comments. A few people were asking about IBM. Yeah, I mean, I don't think IBM's earnings are terrible or bad, but they're also not fantastic. It's kind of mixed with them. Maybe investors were thinking it was going to be a lot worse. But then again, you know, like I said, the earnings aren't bad. They're just not great either. But they're green, up about 2% in post-market right now. Let's see when they're going to do their web call. This is what IBM's investor relations page looks like. Kind of bland looking website for them, to be honest with you. Figured it'd be a little more eye appealing, but it's just kind of basic. So here's the upcoming events, July 22nd. Let's click on that. Okay, so yeah, it's 5 p.m. Eastern, okay? So if anyone wants to watch the IBM live call, it's at 5 p.m. You go to that link I posted in the comments, and then you can see it right here. Link to webcast gets you right there. But let me look at a few other things. Make sure I didn't miss any comments. Tesla, still trying to find the bottom. It hit a low of 360.25. Almost wonder if this will go H shape, a bearish H pattern, lowercase h pattern retrade. Sometimes if it does, that would be good. Yeah, Adrian, you're welcome. No worries, my friend. Hopefully that saves some time getting those links for everyone. So yeah, all right. So we got the reactions. I'm just gonna pull Google up one last time and just kind of see what they're doing before I sign off here. Yeah, Google's down 0.5%. It's only $2 a share. Yeah, Farouk, I saw that the trail. I guess it was a trailer. As they're making a movie on how they made the movie of Rocky. I guess. Looks like it'd be kind of interesting to watch that, though. So pretty cool there. But yeah, it's a little after 4:30. We got our reactions. Tesla was a negative reaction. Like I said, I put a debit spread above the, before the closing bell, I put a debit spread above the price of Tesla and a debit spread below the price of Tesla. So it's getting close to my downside spread. So I'll just be watching to see if this goes H shape and makes a new low. And then if it continues downtrending into tomorrow, I'll be able to take profit on that trade, no problem. So we got to get more candle prints, in which of course we'll get that for the remainder of after hours and then pre-market, and we'll see what it looks like when the opening bell rings, and then I'll see if I need to manage that position or anything. Google just looks weird right now. There's a lot of indecision at first. It wicked up to 353, then it came down, and then it wicked down to 331. I mean, that's like a 20-point range right there. And then it came all the way back up to 350, and now it's back below 340, and there's inbound selling coming in right now. So we just have to wait and see what happens with Google as we get more candle prints and see where how the buyers and sellers are how the price is reacting to the buys and the sells. Yeah, I really don't got much else for today. Like I say, if you want to get my trades in real time, there's links in the description where you can join the Discord. I trade a lot of spreads, credit spreads, debit spreads, condors. I run a ton of the wheel strategy. My bread and butter is actually cash secured puts and covered calls. So if you've ever been interested in that way of trading, I'm your guy. I'm the coach in the Discord for that. But I'm the Swinging Bull with PB Alerts. Hope everyone enjoyed. Hope everyone enjoys the rest of their night. And until next time, I'll see everyone in the very next stream. Cheers, y'all. Bye.